drawing for them. We'll be taking care of it when we get ready to draw. So feel free to continue to eat. If you want to go back and get another little bit, go ahead. We'll feed you till we run out of food. But I hope you're all enjoying the food. I hope you're glad that you came tonight. We were talking earlier today trying to figure out how many years we've been doing this, and we've all gotten so old we can't remember. But this is the first year that we've had it since the beginning of COVID. So I apologize if we were a little bit unorganized with the seating and everything. We didn't know what to expect. You know, we have fed as many as 500 in previous years. We didn't do quite that many tonight, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. We've done more than we thought we would tonight, but praise God for that. We're glad. We're glad that each and every one of you are here, and we hope that each and every one of you enjoy yourself tonight. So continue to eat. Here in a few minutes, we'll begin the program. We've got a very special speaker for you tonight, and it's going to be a good night, okay? Thank you. All right. Let's get this show on the road. You want to speak?
Say hi. Say hi.
What's your name?
Vinny?
Okay. Tonight, we are very privileged, very honored to have Mr. Hunter Bowman as our guest speaker. Hunter is a professional fisherman, and I'm not real sure, but I've seen some pictures that maybe he's killed a deer or two. Either that or his wife has killed him and let him tag him. I'm not real sure about that. But is that what it is? Yeah. But I've never had the pleasure until tonight of meeting Hunter. But when I was told about him and contacted him about coming tonight, he was very anxious to come. Since that conversation that we had, I have had conversations with other people that know him and that have heard him speak, and they all just said, you won't regret it. So if you will, give Mr. Hunter Bowman a warm welcome to Des Arc, Arkansas. I'm gonna get this out of your way. You got your mic? Yes, sir. How about your fishing pole? You need it?
No? No?
This is above my pay grade.
I can take that one if I need to. Oh, we got signed. We did. Thank y'all for having me. The runaway kid, it's mine. One thing's for sure, I am glad I am not the one. This thing is flipping out. I am glad I am not the one bringing my deer up here because I would be upset with the ones that are here, I promise you. But no, thank y'all. Can everybody hear me? I can't tell. Okay, good deal. Thank y'all for having me. I'm from Judsonia, Arkansas, just right down the road here. Very, very glad to be here tonight to share a little bit about my testimony with y'all, a little bit about my life. We're going to kind of go up two roads here as we talk. We're going to talk a lot about hunting and fishing. We're going to talk a lot about Jesus, and we're going to try to parallel them all the way. So as you can tell, I'm a little bit different than everybody else. I'm missing both legs below the knees. I'm missing most fingers. And anyway, at 9 months old, I had bacterial meningitis, and I was not supposed to live. I had 113-degree fever. If I was to live, I'd be a vegetable. The good Lord and some really good doctors stepped in, and they saved my life. And I'm here. I'm 36 years old now. Since then, other than the amputations, I've had no effects from the illness at all. But, you know, it made my life a little bit different than everybody else. And to me, I didn't know it was different. I thought it was normal, and what y'all did was weird, but ended up being y'all's way is normal, my way is a little different. But, man, I love to hunt and fish my whole life. Like, that's all I've ever known, you know. I hunted and I fished. Like, my dad, he worked nights. He'd show up at the house, pick me up, put me in the truck, and we'd go fish for like 4 hours when he'd get off in the morning, then he'd go home, go to bed, and do it again. But, you know, it was just a way of life growing up. And I thought that's just what it'd be. When we fished for meat. Whatever we caught, we ate. And whatever deer walked out in front of me, I killed. It was legal. I mean, that's just, it was for dinner. That was it. And so growing up, you know, I'm so competitive. Like, man, I know several of y'all here, and you'll all attest, we can play tic-tac-toe. I want to win. Like, if I lose, I'm not a happy person. I lost, you know. So I wore artificial legs through school. Till I was 13 years old. I played basketball and I played soccer through junior high, and man, I wasn't competitive. I mean, there's no other way around it. I couldn't run the field. I couldn't play like I wanted to, and I wasn't happy about it. And somewhere along that 13, 14-year-old time frame, I started learning about these bass fishing tournaments a little bit, seeing them, of course, Bassmasters, you know, Bill Dance, everybody on TV. It's like, that'd be really neat. Now, nobody in my family's ever fished a tournament. I mean, my goodness, ever. Did they hardly even bass fish? But I thought, man, that'd be really cool. So I talked my dad into fishing the Big Bass Bonanza on Arkansas River, which I'm sure some of y'all have fished. And we knew a local manufactured boat company made aluminum boats. So I ended up talking them into giving us a bass boat to use for the tournament because all we had was a flat bottom with an 8-horse on it. And so I thought, well, this is really nice. They sponsored us a boat. It must be that easy. It's never been that easy since. But for that weekend, they give us a boat to use. We went to the river. We got our tails kicked. It was terrible. Once again, I lost, and I didn't like it. But I really liked the competitive part of that fishing. I thought, man, this is something I want to try to do some more, you know. So as time rocks on, I end up having a boat before I have a truck. People have come pick me and my boat up so we go fishing. And man, I really liked it. I started bass fishing, not a whole lot of tournaments, but started bass fishing a lot. And I thought, man, I felt like I got better at it. Finally, around the time I started to drive, my cousin and I, we started fishing some tournaments. And it was, once again, terrible. Like, I thought I knew what I was doing. And we'd show up and we'd get our tails kicked over and over and over. And like 3 years in, I've never made a check. And we won the Big Bass Bonanza. We won the Little Rock pool, won like $4,500. Like a month later, we won a championship on Lake Hamilton and won, I don't know, a couple $1,000s. And somebody still in high school, that was a lot of money. I mean, that was several $1,000s we got to split. Like, all right, I'm sold. That's all I need to see. I'm ready to go fish for millions now. You know, that was easy. So, but no, really, that's the time that it clicked that I might be able to do something with this. So I really started, you know, putting all my effort into it. Every bit of it. Like every effort I had went into trying to catch fish 9 months out of the year while I was trying to kill deer the other 3. Somewhere around the end of school, 18, 19 years old, I started fishing statewide, BFLs and stuff, Mr. Bass of Arkansas. Had some luck, won a tournament or 2, won several little tournaments, won Mr. Bass. Started fishing regionally, and in 2021, I actually got to fish nationally. And I've fished nationally. This will be my 3rd year on tour, fishing all over the country with the National Professional Fishing League. And it's so awesome for me to be able to fish and show the world what my God has done for me, you know, and show them that the guy with no legs can be somewhat competitive and, you know, compete at this. And now we're going to put the brakes on the fishing. We're going to go back on the spiritual side of things. So growing up, I hate to say it was insignificant, but I asked God into my heart at such a young age that it was like a lot of us do. I went to a Christian school. I was in church some, not a lot, but it was just like, that's what you're told to do, ask God into your heart. And I did, young, 6, 7 years old, and been a Christian most of my life. But somewhere around, I don't know, in my teens, you know, you start kind of losing your way a little bit. And I was fishing, actually, a tournament on Lake Hamilton one day. And it was a championship. It was opening weekend muzzleload. And, y'all, I'm telling you, when I say I deer hunt for 3 months, I'm sick about deer hunting. Like, I forget I even own a bass boat for 3 months out of the year. Like, I want to kill a deer, a big one. And so it was opening day of muzzleloading, the first day of this tournament, and it's cold and it's clear, and y'all hunt, and you know what I'm talking about. It's the day to be in the deer woods, and I'm in a boat, and there's gunshots going off, and it's a Saturday, and I'm like, man, this is terrible. And I've got a co-angler with me who I didn't know from Adam that just met and get stuck in the boat with him all day. And I said, man, one thing's for sure, when it's over today, I'm taking it to the house, I'm hooking the four-wheeler up, and I'm hunting tomorrow. Tomorrow was church, Sunday. We talked a little bit about Jesus, not much, just briefly. He said, you're not going to go to church? I said, no, sir, I'm going hunting. And he said, you know, y'all go to church, y'all put church first. And I thought, man, I don't even know you. Like, hush. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. Just let me do me, you do you. I go to church a lot. But tomorrow, I'm going deer hunting. And I didn't really think anything about it. I deer hunted the next day. It was no good. The next Sunday, same deal. Cold front, hunted again. And I was up into gun season. And one week I decided, I was like, man, I'm just going to go to church first. So I go to church. And at this point now, I was going to church on my own most of the year until it didn't fit my prerogative, until there was a deer to kill or a fish to catch. And so I go to church first, and like 2 days later, I killed the biggest deer I've killed in like years. And I thought, it just, it hit me, it's like, oh my gosh. And it says in the Bible, y'all, it's clear as day in the Bible, if you'll put God first in everything you do, that he will give you your wildest dreams. Well, I've heard that. People have told me that, but it didn't click till then. Like, I get it. Like, that was a very obvious thing. And killing a deer is not that big a deal to a lot of people. To me, that's my dreams. Killing a big deer, catching a big fish, that's what I love to do. And it was so obvious that it happened the way it did. I'm like, all right, Lord, I'm listening. I get it. I hear you. So from that day forward, I really started, to put my walk with God in front of everything else. In front of I've got my wife, my 2 little girls here. Like, my walk with God needs to come before my relationship with them, because it makes my relationship with my girls stronger. It makes everything in my life better. So that's the point. Like I said, I was saved at a very young age, but I felt like that was that turning point. Not that 6 or 7-year-old hunter that sat in his bed and had his mom pray a prayer with him and got saved. But as a teenager, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, 19 probably years old, I felt like that was really my turning point in my walk with the Lord. And guys, let me tell you, it has blown my mind since that point. Like, we've had our tough times. Everybody does. My wife lost a brother in a boating accident when he was 15 years old a few years ago. She had some health issues when we first got married. Like, everybody faces tough times. But my gosh, when you put your walk with God first, like, it's so much better. It's so much better. I don't want to say it's easy, because times are tough, but it's better. Like, you can get through those dark times so much better. And it's just been overwhelming to me. We got married in 2013, thank you. And we started praying. We prayed for 7 years for a kid, and for whatever reason we couldn't have one. And all of a sudden we've got a toddler that's not 2 years old and a 3-month-old. So God has a sense of humor, because we're extremely busy now. But he has blessed us so richly. I've got to, my fishing career, something I want to do as a hobby because I'm competitive, has gone so much further than that. You see this, I think they're goofy. I hate jerseys, but it serves a point in this. And you see what I'm wearing. I wear this for my sponsors. Everybody you see on this shirt are basically my employers. I get to represent these sponsors and go catch fish for a living and come speak to people like y'all. That's what I get to do, and it's because of God that I get to do that. And it's, just been incredible. Who would ever thought the guy with no legs and a few fingers would ever fish at a national level? I don't just do it and I'm there, y'all. I'm not the best, but I cash checks. I won a tournament in Missouri last year that was said by many to be one of the biggest things that ever happened in the world of professional, or in fishing in general. I beat 40 guys in a professional level tournament in Missouri last year. And it's all God, and I get to get on stage, and I get to stand on that stage in front of a camera that's streaming to the whole world, watching me hold a trophy and tell them how good my God is, that I can stand here with this trophy and worship him, and that he allows me to be able to do it for a living. How awesome is that? And I'm here to tell you, if you'll put God first, your wildest dreams, it may not be immediate. You may not kill a deer 2 days after you go to church. That was like point blank so stupid I could even understand. But in the long run, if God comes first in your life, it's amazing what you can do, and the goals you will achieve, and the dreams you will see fulfilled that you never even thought was a possibility to be fulfilled. And the other thing, and this kind of mixes both together, but it's how hard you work at it. And this is anything in your life. This fishing, it's a pain at times. I get to stay home with my family at times when everybody else is at 8 to 5, but when it's tournament time, it's tournament time. And I don't care whose birthday it is or how nasty the weather is, it's time to go fishing for a week. Period. You have 3 practice days, an off day, and 3 tournament days. And those practice days are daylight till dark. Like it's dark when the boat hits the water. It's dark when the boat hits the trailer. Then the tournament days are anywhere from 8 to 11 hours long. I mean, it's a very grueling week. Do this over and over. And you have to work hard. And if you don't, you're never going to achieve what you want to achieve. And that goes for anything in life. I get to speak to a lot of schools, and I always tell them, I'm not a huge sports guy, but I can tell you that if you're playing football, but you don't go to practice, you're going to sit on the bench, and you're going to watch somebody else be the star of that game. You won't be the star because you didn't put the time in to be that star. That goes with your relationships, with your work, your school, whatever point you are in life, y'all. And that, more than anything, goes with your walk with God. The more effort you put in with your walk with God, the stronger it becomes, and the more dreams you are able to see fulfilled. And it's just overwhelming. And that's what's on my heart for y'all to know tonight, to just live for God in everything you do. Put Him first, and He will fulfill your wildest dreams. Now I'm going to do something. I've got this fishing pole. This is a pretty big group, so this may get kind of tough. But I like doing questions because people have a million questions, from how do you drive your truck, how you throw a fishing pole, whatever you do. And the first question I always get asked how I throw a fishing pole. So I'm going to gently throw this fishing pole so I don't hit anybody. Sir, I'm going to throw it in that trash can, but I promise I won't hit you, but once anyway. So, I made you flinch, didn't I? But when I hold it, I hold it under my arm and just kind of support it with my left hand since I don't have any fingers on it. And I switch hands to flip. Oh, I missed. But, of course, long throws. And then I also shoot a gun, obviously. You shoot it just the same way, put my arm under it. I shoot a compound bow, which is a little more, sketchy. But it's not bad. I've killed some deer with a bow. Really enjoy it. It's another way I've been able to share my passion with outdoors and share my story with God with people. But what other questions do we have? I like leaving a little time, and I know there's a bunch of people, and y'all probably think, man, I don't want to ask a question. It's stupid. But it's not stupid, I promise. I won't even laugh at you. Somebody give me a question. Yes, sir. How do I bait a hook? Carefully. I hold the bait against my body when I run it up on it. When y'all ask loud, because I'm about half deaf. Yes, sir. What's the biggest fish I've ever caught? The biggest fish I've ever caught was about a 30-pound catfish. Biggest bass was 9 pounds, 15 ounces. The biggest Arkansas bass was 8 pounds, 862, I think, out of Greer's Ferry. What else? Yes. The biggest deer I've ever killed is not as big as some of these. About a 140-inch 12-point would be the biggest one I've ever killed. I know there's more. Come on now. I left y'all time to ask questions. Y'all don't have any? Yes, sir. My second biggest catfish, I don't have a clue. It may be the only one I've ever weighed in my life because it was huge. Yes. I shoot a 7-mag rifle. Is there any more? Go on. Oh, yes, sir. My favorite what? My favorite fish to catch is bass, because bass makes me money and nothing else does. Yes, sir. No, this is just the only one I brought. I've got about 30 at the house. Somebody over here? Yes, sir. I actually told somebody the other day, Will, was it you? Somebody said they told me the number. Yeah, it was you. The number of deer you killed, you knew? Was that you that told me that? Somebody I talked to told me this was deer number blank, and I thought that'd be really cool. I wish I'd known. It's got to be, it's dozens. I don't have a clue. Any more? Yes. Well, the off time is where all this stuff on the Jersey comes in, and I hunt a lot, like more than I should probably. But other than that, I work on sponsorship deals. That's basically what I do. That's how I pay my bills, is through advertisement, social media and different things. And I basically start on that when the year's over, September, October. And I try to be done in January, or by January, but this year was closer to February before I was done. So that is lots of phone calls and meetings in the winter. Yes, sir. I don't know, a bunch of fish. I've caught a whole bunch. Yes, sir. Well, no, not normally. If the ladder's got an angle to it, I can climb it. I've only fell out once. And that's because my carpentry might have failed. But no, I normally climb. I've had, when I bow hunt, sometimes in lock-ons with like a wooden ladder going up to them. Most time box stands because I'm lazy and I like computer chairs. Yes. I've never ice fished. Yes. I do go duck hunting. I don't do much duck killing, but I like to duck hunt. After my deer are killed. I can't duck hunt until I've killed a deer now. Somebody back here. No? Actually this year I have a ladder. I'm kind of excited about it. Normally I step on the fender. I've got both knees, so I'll step on the fender and kind of just jump, hop, flop up in the boat, and I walk around my knees when I get in the boat. 9 pounds, 15 ounces. Let's see one over here. No? Sir. My new boat is pretty and it's white, and it's not going to be white long because it'll be filthy when I get in it. But I picked up a new Blazer, 20-foot Blazer with 250 on it in November. Brought it home and it has never been started, but that changes next week. So I'm ready. It's actually getting wrapped right now with all the sponsors on it. Yes, sir. Deer hunting is my favorite kind of hunting. Is there more? I see somebody pointing my own. Oh, yes. How do I fire a shotgun? Like that right there, like I showed you. Just put it on your shoulder and shoot it. Yes. Favorite brand of rod and reel? So I started with a shameless sponsor plug. I started with a new company, Stick 5 Rods. It's an Arkansas-made company. That's what these are. This will be my first year throwing those. Then I throw Daiwa reels. Yes. My favorite bait to throw. I really, really like a jig. And after I won $40,000 on it last fall, I like it even more. Is there any more? Yes, sir. You've got lots of questions. No, I've never killed anything any bigger than 15. No. She asked if I started a podcast. We've been recording a podcast that'll be everywhere on social media within a month. Any of y'all that fish, Jay Ellis, I get to record with him Monday. That's pretty neat. He's a legend of the sport. No? Yes, sir. I have been one time bow fishing, but I actually didn't shoot. I had my bow was cranked up to 70, and I didn't even take it because I didn't want to draw it, and I didn't want to mess with pulling it down. Well, thank you. Oh, yes, ma'am. I don't trout fish much, but I do occasionally when I'm very bored and it's very hot because it's cold around the trout. Yes. 3 pounds probably on the biggest crappie. Thank y'all so much. I've got, oh, yes, sir. In what? In each season? Man, that's all. That's deep. That's like a whole nother 30-minute deal there. That's all watercolor and what bait they're eating. I go on forever about that one. We can talk about that after I come off here because nobody, I don't know how many people will hear that. I see a hand. It's not that bad to tie a bait. And that's on my social media, y'all. You can log on to anything, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Hunter Bogman Fishing. I've got videos on how I climb a deer stand, get on the four-wheeler, tie lures, get in the boat, fish. And I've actually got cards in the back on the table y'all checked in at when you come in. They're just like little social media follow-along cards. tell how to find me all over social media, and I actually got some product discounts on the back through some of my sponsors too. So make sure you pick one of those up on your way out. Yes, sir. What? So on what? Oh, the owning Sitka? No, I don't own any Sitka. Nothing against it, I just don't own any. Yes. I was 13 or 14 when I killed my first deer. I don't remember. I remember killing it, I just don't remember how old I was. It was a long time ago. That's like 20 years ago. Thank y'all so much. If you got any other questions, come see me. I'll be right here. Thank y'all for having me.